Good morning. I'm here. I'm here. I got my coffee. Good morning. I hope y'all are doing well. Yeah, it's nice to see y'all again too. The start of this month was just like crammed busy with like a lot of stuff. I was so tired, so I didn't stream Monday and Tuesday because I just had a lot of stuff that I was doing. Like, oh my god. Yesterday, right? Because yeah, yesterday was the first. And this ain't an April Fool's joke, baby. First I paid rent, then I got groceries, then I washed all of my clothes, and then I washed all of my bed sheets, and then I put away all of my clean clothes, and then I made my bed, and then I beat Veer playing Bakushin on Uma, and then I also finished 2 commissions, and then I also took a shower, and then I passed out. Oh, I also vacuumed my floor too. I vacuumed my floor as well. Yeah, I did so much yesterday. I did so much, dude. It was crazy. Why are you telling everyone? Because I'm proud of my achievements. What's wrong with being proud of my achievements? Yeah, it's a sleepy little guy. Yeah, welcome in. Let's see who all we got here today. We've got Jacob on YouTube. Hi, Jacob. And then let's see. First was grabbed by a Benny. Oh my gosh, congrats, Benny. Thank you for taking my first. Makes me very, very happy you could be my first. Daily Pillow, we've got Barb, we've got Sekwar, Zelfar, Jeremy. Let's see, 5, Vortexiality, Berserk, Red Go Light, Nordy. Yeah, that's all the daily pillows. I'm having my butt off NyQuil right now, so I'm not sure how long I'll stay. Yeah, no worries. I hope you feel better. Oh my gosh, are you sick? Yeah, take good care of yourself. I hope you feel better. I hope the NyQuil helps a lot. We get plenty of rest. And let's see who's in the queue so far for tarot readings today. First up is Zelfar, who wants a general reading. Then we've got Sekwar with a life reading. Then Condor with a love reading. Berserk with the general reading. Alex with the relationship reading, and Misama with a travel reading. I changed my mind really fast, love. I got you. I'm slightly sick, yeah, but I should hopefully feel better tomorrow. Yeah. My fingers are crossed for you. Lots of hydration and lots of rest. Yeah, now with the weather change, I know whenever the seasons change, people tend to get sick pretty easily. Let's see. Okay, so we'll start off with Zelfar, who wants a love reading. Let me grab my actual tarot cards. Want to see something funny? What's up? Oh my god. You're boogieing. Look at you. Little boogie fella. We love to see it. You party hardy like there's no tomorrow. I can't stay tonight, Sally. Yeah, no worries. Sweet dreams, Barb. Thanks for popping in. Okay, get the oracle cards out. We got my tarot cards out. Hi, Azrael. Okay, well, I gotta get a sip of my coffee. Yes, yes. It's still very hot. So yummy. I have fun on April Fools. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there was a lot of really funny things. A lot of the like indie otome games that I follow were all making like some silly jokes about like, oh yeah, patch notes, you guys. We're gonna make a new unofficial fishing game for our otome game. I'm like, you fool. You fool, that's exactly what I would want. How dare you? How dare you offer me the potential for an otome fishing game and then not deliver it to me? Pranked a friend of mine with the chocolate cake with the soggy onions. I'm like, ew. That's evil. Why would you tamper with food? That's so mean. I wouldn't be able to trust any food anybody gave me regardless of the day if that happened to me. Oh, but I did see an actual like legit recipe. Like this was posted before April Fool's of a caramelized onion cake. Where it's like a chocolate cake with like a caramelized onion caramel buttercream. And apparently it's actually like really good, supposedly. I don't know, it's an interesting choice. It's an interesting choice for sure. But yeah. I would have pranked you more ways than one. Why would you prank me? I'm just a little guy. I'm just a little guy. I'm literally just a fella, and you would prank me? What does the world come to these days? You can handle it. Can I? Can I, though? I can't handle food pranks. I would lose my trust in humanity if somebody tampered with food. That's where I draw the line. Let's see what we got for Zolfar's love reading. Another tarot stream, or as I like to call it, the shorts puts stream. Yeah, a lot of my tarot streams do get turned into shorts because I just yap about whatever. They're basically my just chatting streams, but with like extra steps. Let me decide on my oil futures tonight. Oh god. How about onion juice mixed with apple juice? Why are you so obsessed with onions? Are you like part ogre? Is that like your thing? You're like really, really into onions. Fun fact, when I play games, I lean towards sniper builds. So I'm playing Resident Evil 4 for the first time. I was just given a sniper rifle. Good job, man. I watched Harper play a little bit of Resident Evil 9. Yeah, it's 9. Yeah, Requiem. And it's so funny just seeing random scenes out of context. So it gets the best reactions from out of them. I don't know. I would rather use my onions for something delicious, like French onion soup. Can you imagine a nice, delicious, hearty bowl of French onion soup? Wouldn't that be much more valuable use of the onion's life? Did you see the Resident Evil 9 Twitter April Fool's post? No, I haven't. Oh my gosh. All I ever see from Resident Evil 9 on Twitter is like people's thirst art of fuck, what's his name? The sexy Delph guy. What's his name? Leon. Yeah, that's all I see. Yeah. Yeah, Leon, he's hot as fuck, dude. He was originally a twink and now he's a Delph, and I think that's beautiful. And then I hear whenever he's low on health, he moans. So there are people who play the entire game on low health just so they can hear him moan. I love that for them. I think that's beautiful too. Oh, I also joined a BL book club, so that's fun as well. I've been chatting in the BL book club. It's so funny because I got to explain because I retweeted about one Don May novel I had read not that long ago-ish. I reread it not that long ago, but I read it like a couple years ago, called The Disabled Tyrant's Beloved Pet Fish. And it sounds so insane to explain that this is a romance book where a man gets transmigrated into the body of a fish and then has to make the emperor, who is mute, fall in love with him while he's a fish. And then he's able to turn into a human, and then they fuck. And then he gives birth to 4 babies as a fish, and then those fish babies turn into human babies. And then he also gives birth to a baby girl because he wants a baby girl. So he has 5 babies. And also he starts a women's rights organization and like a whole bunch of other stuff. But it's so funny. It's a really, really good novel. It sounds insane when I explain that most of the romance is actually between them when he's in fish form. But like, it's not weird though. It's not weird though. It's actually really sweet, really funny, and like really wholesome. If you guys haven't read it, I highly recommend it. So hi, Brandy. Welcome in. Yeah, Omega. Yeah, and then yeah. I mean, he does get pregnant. It is Mpreg, so technically, I guess in some senses he could be an Omega, but it's not Omega verse. It's just Mpreg. Those are 2 separate but overlapping genres. Just to make that distinct. You could have an Mpreg novel without it being Omega verse. Omega verse though, you do have Mpreg. It's just they may not show it in certain types of novels. But Mpreg is in Omega verse, Omegaverse isn't Mpreg, but Mpreg isn't an Omegaverse. It's like a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle isn't a square kind of thing. Does that make sense? Yeah, yippee, Mpreg. Yeah, I do think it's really cute. It was very cute. If you guys haven't read it, come on, Dare. Do you think we have? Like I may end. What do you say? Maybe you have. Who am I to judge your past reading history? Okay, you're watching me. For all I know, you could have read every single Don May novel I've read. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there. You should read it though. It's really cute. It's really cute. It's called The Emperor's Beloved Pet Fish. Yeah, the disabled tyrant's beloved pet fish. Has anyone read it? This is a safe space. Please tell me you've read it. I know I've definitely talked about it before because I read a lot of Don May novels. Yeah, there was that one. There's Married Thrice to a Salted Fish, which is not actually about a fish, contrary to the title. A lot of people think that one's the title. What's the novel's name? The Disabled Tyrant's Beloved Pet Fish. Yeah, but Married Thrice to a Salted Fish is also a really good Don May novel, but it's not about fish. Salted fish is like a Chinese term for like a person who just wants to lay down and do nothing. So, very different things. Don't confuse them. The thing I read is cooking books. Yeah, I have a couple cookbooks too. I have the Stardew Valley cookbook. I've got the Studio Ghibli cookbook. And ironically, I really, really want the Snoop Dogg cookbook. Because I've seen like a couple of YouTubers that I follow do like some recipe tests. Like I watched Anti Chef on YouTube, and he does like Cage Match, where he finds recipes in multiple recipe books. And then he cooks all of them and like basically dukes it out to see who has the best version of that recipe. And like Snoop Dogg's recipes have like legitimately held their weight against people like Martha Stewart and like the Momofuku chef, who is like a really, really popular like Michelin star dessert chef. So I'm like, fuck, dude, I kind of want the Snoop Dogg cookbook. Sorry, I had to step away for a second. Were we talking about DILF MPreg? We were talking about DILFs and we were talking about MPreg, but we weren't talking about DILF MPreg. But I would love to see more of that, actually. I would be open to DILF MPreg, actually. I think we should have DILF MPreg. Stop tampering with food, Azriel. It's already past April 1st. It's already done. If you keep doing that, nobody's gonna want to eat your food anyway. You keep tampering with it. Food is a sacred thing. Alright, let's see what we got for you, Zelfar, for your love reading. How many people are in the queue? I have to see. I tamper with food by cooking it. I don't say 9. Let me see. Well, right now we're doing Zelfar. But then after Zelfar, it's Sequar. Then after Sequar is Condor. Then after Condor is Berserk. Then after Berserk is Alex. Then after Alex is Misamo. And then after Misamo is you. So there's actually 7 people in the queue. Not 9. Not 9. So there you go. Oh my god, the puppy's so excited. I hear him out there. He just got back from his walkies. Running out of knives in the game. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, we got all the cards for you. So let's put these up on the screen. Starting with... There we go. Hi, Crimson Maple Leaf. We're currently doing a queue right now. So there is a queue. It would have been funny if you said 10. Well, 10 is the max. I can put you in at the end of the line so far, Crimson, but there are like 7 people ahead of you after this person. So you'd be number 8 in line after this person. But if you want to wait, you're more than welcome to be added to the queue. Okay. I'm happy to wait. Okay, I just want to make sure. Just want to make sure. It does take a bit for me to get to them, though. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Let me go ahead and, oh, there you are. Hi, Leonix. I didn't know if you're going to be here or not. Oh my god, what is my thing doing? There we go. Whew. Okay, I fixed it. I sent a few messages before in chat. Well, I mean, I didn't know you were gonna be able to mod today. I didn't know you were gonna be able to mod, you know? Because you said you were bibsy, you know? Oh, let me go ahead and claim on the Twitch side of things for Crimson Maple Leaf on YouTube. Let's see. Just so we can keep that organized. There we go. Alright. Now I'm officially in the queue. I can't mod super well, but I can at least check in. Yeah, I appreciate it, Leonix. Alright, let's finish putting up the rest of these onto the screen for you. Zelfar, for your love reading. So the second card is... And then the third card is also coins. let's see. The 6 coins. Doop. There we go. Okay, we got all of the cards for you for your love reading, Zalfar. So in order of left to right, we have the 9 of Cups, we have the reverse 10 of Coins, and the reverse 6 of Coins. Also, hi CJ, welcome in. So starting with the 9 of Cups, the 9 of Cups is a card of abundance. It's setting yourself up for future success, right? It's self-reliance, especially, you know, prepping yourself for the future. So when it comes to love, this is like you preparing for a future for love, setting, you know, a place in your heart for love, and, you know, sort of mentally preparing yourself. Maybe you're working through like, you know, therapy to get rid of like some excess baggage and stuff like that. And like learning to like be vulnerable and open your heart and stuff like that, you know? So that's what the 9 of Cups is. It's like you're definitely working hard to become, you know, a good partner for somebody, whoever it may be, right? But then we follow it up with the reverse 10 of Coins, right? And the reverse 10 of Coins is very much like a card of you're kind of losing track of the big picture, right? You're getting lost in the small details of things, and you're kind of failing to see the overall what needs to be seen and what actually matters in the grand scheme of things. And this could be a variety of things. Maybe this is like, maybe you're too picky with potential partners, and maybe you're overlooking somebody that would actually be a really great match for you. Or maybe you're just getting so focused in on like fantasies of like what you want for romance that you're overlooking the fact that you need a partner in order to have those things. Or, you know, it could be a variety of things, but it basically means like you gotta actually step away from like the nitty gritty details and actually look at the full picture in order to get an idea of what you actually need to do next, right? Not saying that what you're doing right now is wrong, but it's like, but it's not helpful for you right now. You're getting so caught up in these details when there's more to be focused on, right? I think you nailed it with the last one. Oh, kind of getting distracted by like your own daydreams of stuff. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with daydreaming. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it can be a very romantic thing to daydream about what you would like. But ultimately, it's not helping you actually acquire a partner to just simply sit and think about what you would like to do with the partner. You should go out there, right? And put yourself out there so that you can find a partner to do those things with, right? And then that brings us to your last card, which is the reverse 6 of Coins. And the 6 of Coins in reverse is a card of pain before gain, right? The good things are hidden behind the bramble. You see those delicious, delicious little raspberries on that card right there. But you also see that there are thorns. You are going to get scratched. You may get rejected by a few people, right? You may find it hard to actually put yourself out there because it's a very vulnerable thing to put yourself out there. But I think it's necessary to risk, you know, getting a couple scratches, getting a couple scrapes and bruises in order for the long run to find the partner that you're looking for, right? You got to risk the pain in order to achieve greatness. Like I said, it's all about the vulnerability. It's about the chance that people could, you know, hurt you. And that's scary, and nobody wants to be hurt. But it's a necessary step in order for them to prove that they're not going to hurt you, you know? So, again, you got to put yourself out there. If you're looking for a partner, you have to actually look for a partner. You have to actually, like, interact with people and, like, ask them out on dates, you know? I was all kind of crushing hard, but I'm moving past it. You should ask some people out on dates. Like I said, coffee dates are always a great way to like sort of open things up, keep it casual. If you're not sure if you should tell them if you like them, you know, suggesting you grab coffee or grab lunch or something together is like a very light thing for getting to do things with somebody and getting to know them a little bit more, but like keeping it casual in a sense where they won't feel too pressured, right? I was like, oh yeah, I'd love to like grab some coffee or something. Or, oh yeah, how about we like go to like this new place, this new cafe I saw or something, and we'll grab some food, you know? It's light, there's something to do. Personally, like I said, I'm a big fan of bowling dates. I think those are so much fun because They're just a blast. Who doesn't like bowling? I personally, I think it's a lot of fun. I do enjoy a good bowling date. Even if you're bad at bowling, I don't think it's a bad date idea. But I think you still have to put yourself out there. That's the key thing. If you want to have a partner, you have to ask somebody out, right? So, there you go. I believe in you, Zulfar. You will find your love. I believe. I believe. Also, hi, Poppy. Welcome in. Let me sip my coffee. Oh my god, that's so good. Yeah, you can do it. Hi, Cola. Welcome in. Next up is Sequar. Sequar, you're still here, right? I know I've kind of been yapping for a little bit, but you're still here? Ugh, I'm slipping out of my chair. I'm here. Okay, hi. Hi, Sequar. And Sequar said, I feel like I'm inching towards a significant paradigm shift in my life. What should I do to prepare for it? Oh, a paradigm shift, huh? Let's see what we got for you. Boom, boom. So some big things are happening, huh? Some things are cooking behind the scenes. Is that what it is? Yeah, in art and in life. Ooh, that's exciting. It's very exciting. Alright, let's see what we got for you. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I do think you're right. I think it is definitely a paradigm shift that is happening here. Let's go ahead and put these cards up on the screen for you. Definitely big things cooking for you right now, for sure. I don't think you're wrong with that. And then the next card is boop. And then the final card is there we go. Alrighty, so first of all three of these are major arcana cards, right? Which usually means that this is a very big and important event in your life, and this is something to pay attention to, right? So the fact that all three of them are major arcana, I think does automatically straight up prove. But also you have the world here, which also I think also sort of proves. Anyway, so in order of left to right, we have the Empress, we have the world, and we have the devil. So very, very big things cooking around here. But let's start with the Empress, right? The Empress is creativity. She's inspiration. She's nurturing. She's guiding light, right? There's very much like this overflowing creativity and using, you know, your kind of like innate nature to nurture your potential, right? That's what the Empress is all about. So to me, it feels like this is something that's kind of been slowly but steadily growing. And like you mentioned with art, it is very much creatively linked here with the creativity. So it feels like this is like the chance for like your creativity to really like blossom in a sense, right? And then following it up with the world. The world is a card of change. It's a card of travel, the path of liberation. It's the achievement and enjoying your success, right? This is very much like a card of you're on the path of success. You are moving forward. You're pushing farther. You're seeing yourself and sort of like this new light, reaching your desired goals and your dreams. So this is a banger card to get for that kind of thing, right? It's basically telling you like you're on the right track. You're moving forward. This feels like it's a really great opportunity for you. Your journey is really taking its stride in the direction that you want it to go. So, yippee, yippee. And then we followed up with the Devil card. And to me, the Devil card feels like, hey, breathe. It's going to be okay. The Devil card may seem scary, but the Devil card is very much about like having fun, right? Be a little flirtatious. Don't be so uptight. It's okay to let loose a little bit. There's nothing wrong with letting loose, indulging in like your more playful side, your more playful nature. If you focus too hard on making sure everything's perfect and perfectly organized and doing perfectly fine, you're going to stress yourself out, and that's going to affect your creativity, right? I'm not saying that you have to become like super, super crazy, like sort of like hedonistic type thing or anything like that. But like, it's okay to let loose a little bit. It's okay to breathe. It's okay to have a little fun, be a little flirtatious, be a little frivolous, just a little bit. This is a card of enjoying the physical pleasures of the world, right? What the world has to offer you, just enjoying it for a little bit. It is okay to stop and smell the roses that you have taken the time to grow. It's okay to enjoy just a little bit. Just make sure you don't overdo it. But I think because you're worried about trying to do things the correct way, I don't think you're going to overdo it. So it's like the cards are just like, hey, unclench that jaw. Unclench those butt cheeks, right? It's going to be okay. You're going to be fine. It's going to work out. Just remember to breathe. Remember to enjoy what you have right now. Right? Achieving the success, it's important to savor it, To take the time to be like, wow, I fucking did it. Hell yeah, baby, right? So just breathe. And enjoy the success. It'll be okay. Like I said, you don't want to stress out your creativity anyways. Getting too worked up about stuff. As long as you don't go like balls to the wall kind of shit, I think you'll be perfectly fine. But it's okay to savor the moment. There you go. I hope that helps, Sequoia. My coffee is so delicious. Thank you for the follow, Apple. Yeah, thanks for the reading. Yeah, I'm glad. Next up is Condor. Condor, are you in here? Are you still here, Condor? Yummers, yeah, you hear me enjoying my little coffee. I never go balls to the wall and stuff. I just take it one piece at a time. Yeah, that's why I feel like it'll be fine. And the cards are just kind of reassuring you of like, hey, you don't need to stress too much. And remember to savor what you accomplish. Remember to take it in and enjoy it. Wait, we drinking coffee? Yeah, I'm drinking coffee. Delicious, delicious coffee. I had a lean cocktail earlier. What kind of cocktail? And I see you, Condor. And Condor also wants a love reading. So let's see what we got for you. It's been a while since I've actually had alcohol. Coke and brandy. Oh, gotcha. That's a classic. I can't believe you drank brandy. You know, Brandy's a beloved member of our community, right? I know. Poor Brandy. I do like whiskey cocktails, though. If I find a good one on a menu, I usually try to order it. So there's one drink that I had off of a menu probably, oh gosh, like 4 years ago that was so good. It was basically a sangria, but it had like elderflower syrup in it and stuff too. It was so good. It was so good. It was like a white wine sangria with like lots of fruit in it, and it had the elderflower syrup. It was so good. Is there room on the list for me to get in line on a reading? I think we still have one slot left, right? If you go to the tarot reading redeem, it's in the redeems. Let me see. Yes, there is still a slot left if you want to snag it. It's just 5 channel points, which you should have at least 300 because you followed. So, should be plenty. There you go, perfect. Now you're in the queue. There were still more. That was the last slot, Poppy. Literally snagged the last slot. That's why you gotta check. That's why you gotta check. You never know though. As we go through, some people tend to... No, you didn't take their spot. You didn't take their spot. Don't worry. But for those of you who missed the chance to claim a reading though, as we get towards the end of stream, some people tend to disappear by the time we get to their reading, which means that there is a chance for a raffle slot. So if you didn't manage to snag one now, you gotta stick till the end, and because there's a chance you might be able to snag a spot at the end of stream. So there's still a chance. There's still a fighting chance if anybody disappears. Yeah, some days like all of the slots will be gone in like the first 5 minutes, and then other days most of the slots will be gone. We'll have like 2 or 3. Just depends. That's why you gotta check. You gotta check the slots. Let's see what we got for you, Condor, for your love reading. Sometimes I forget how smooth your rigging is. Yeah, Mooney did such a good job on it, man. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta... There we go. Since today is tarot, I gotta put on my little tarot arm toggle so I can eat my tarot card. Okay, we got all the cards for you. So let's put these up on the screen. Starting with... Hi, Tango. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Second card is... And then the third card is... Well, the night's been doing well. Yeah, the night's been good so far. There we go. All right, Condorcito. Sorry, Condor. We've got your love reading for you. So in order of left to right, we've got the reverse Hanged Man. We have the 2 of Swords, and we have the 7 of Cups for your love reading. So, starting with the reversed Hanged Man, right? The reversed Hanged Man is a card about kind of like disillusionment, sort of not wanting to face the truth, facing the facts, right? So you're sort of hiding inside of yourself so you don't have to face the truth of the situation, which to me feels like a little, I don't want to say, it feels like you're teetering on the edge of blackpilling. You know, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It feels like you're teetering on the edge of blackpilling. And you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. All right, that's a dangerous turn to take. I'm not saying that's necessarily the case, but it does feel like you are sort of not wanting to face the facts about a certain situation or a certain thing when it comes to love, right? If this could be, you know, maybe you've gotten rejected and maybe you're taking it like a little too personally. And you're thinking that maybe, oh, like no person will ever want to date with me, you know? And it's like, maybe you just haven't found the right person yet. Because I do think there are people out there. But also, if you really feel like there's nobody out there who would be interested in you, I think the key thing to ask is, why do you think that? Right? What are the reasons that you think people would not be attracted to you? Now, these are just questions to ask to yourself, if that's how you feel, right? If you feel like it's difficult to find a partner, then I would say the first thing here, which to me, this feels kind of like you're sort of wondering, like, why isn't anybody interested in me? I would say, well, what qualities do you have to offer to somebody, right? Are you somebody who pays attention? You know, listens attentively when people come to you and talk to you, right? Are you somebody who wants to help people when they're in trouble, when they need help, and you're somebody who steps up to the plate to give assistance to people, right? And not just romance partners, but this is to everybody, right? I think that's also a key thing too, is how is somebody going to know how you're going to treat them as a romance partner if you act completely different when you're not in a relationship, you know? There are different ways you can show your personality traits without having to be in a relationship. Like I said, with like the idea of helping people. Are you only helping people when you think that they can be beneficial for you? Or if you think it's for your sort of like benefit in a sense. Or maybe you have a hard time talking with people in general or listening to people in general that you're not interested in. I'm just throwing things out. I'm not saying that these are what you're like. I'm just saying that these are personally things I've seen happen to a lot of people that I think they don't realize. It could be maybe you only really want to talk about your interests, which I get, they're your interests, they're the things you're interested in. But sometimes you got to listen to other people talk about the stuff that they like, even if you don't understand it or know anything about it. You know, that's good for your soul. It really is. It really is good for your soul. People have tried to explain football to me, and I still don't get it. But I listen to them every time they want to talk about their game or whatever. I ask them questions about the game. I don't know what they're saying about it, but they're really happy. It makes them happy. So you do your best to meet them on their level, even if you don't know anything about it. Or whenever I go on about, you know, Preg Donmei novels and you guys just nod along like, that's wonderful, Dare. I'm glad you enjoyed that novel about a man impregnating a fish. That's beautiful, Dare. The miracle of life. Anyways, it's just like a look inside yourself. And think to yourself, what are the things that you can offer, right? And I think looking for what are the things you bring to the table, you know, in terms of like personality, in terms of actions. What are you doing to be a partner that people want to be with, right? And maybe you stop and you realize, you know, oh, you know, there are more things that I could do to be a more, you know, appealing and attractive partner to somebody. And that'd be great. That'd be great, right? But then we kind of move on to the next card, which is the Two of Swords, right? And the Two of Swords is kind of like the wishy-washy card. It's sort of like the sense of like you don't really know what direction to go in. You don't really know which way to go, which way to head out. This can be like maybe you don't even know where you want to go in the kind of person you want to be, right? Maybe you're not sure how you want to present yourself as a potential romance partner, you know? And I think that also can come from the idea of who do you want to be? Who do you want to present yourself as, just as a person, right? Yourself as a romance partner is not exclusive from who you are as a person, though they aren't mutually exclusive concepts. They're actually kind of tied into each other, like intrinsically. So I think it's important to not only think about who you want to be as a romance partner, but also who you want to be just like as a person in general, like in your community, around other people, just as a whole, and not just the people that you might be interested in romantically, right? And then that kind of brings us to your final card, which is the Seven of Cups, which is a card of adaptability and the freedom to do anything and go anywhere, right? You choose your actions. And because you choose your actions, you choose how you do things and who you want to be, right? You can't change people's perception of you, but you can actually take at least a little bit of control based off of what you personally decide to do, right? So maybe if you don't like who you are right now, or if you feel like there are things that you could improve, I feel like the Two of Swords and the Seven of Cups are kind of encouraging you, telling you like, hey, it's okay if you want to put in more time and more effort to become a specific kind of person. You can do that. You can decide, I don't really like who I am right now. I want to become, a more careful listener when it comes to people, right? I'm just throwing out an example. I want to be a more careful listener to people. I want to really genuinely listen to their problems, rather than kind of just like waiting for my turn to speak, right? I want to be somebody that people go to talk to whenever they are having difficulties with life, right? And so then you do it, right? Also, hi, Jasmine, welcome in. So I think that's sort of like the key thing here. To me, it feels like you're kind of on the teetering on the edge of who you are and who you want yourself to be and how you want other people to perceive you, in the sense of like the cards are kind of reassuring you like, hey, if you don't like who you are right now, you can change who you are through your own efforts. You can become the ideal version of yourself that you want to see when you look in the mirror. And there's a lot of ways you can do that. Maybe you just don't like, it can be outward appearance too. It can be like maybe you feel like you're getting rejected because of your appearance. And I mean, sure, that absolutely sucks and that's really shitty. But if you feel like you would also feel more confident in yourself in pursuing dating if you work on your appearance, there are things you can do too. You can, you can work out, you can do skincare, you can get a haircut, you can change your clothes, your wardrobe, there are a variety of things that you can do. Don't bone smash. Please don't bone smash. There's no need to go into looks maxing, okay? There's simple, basic things you can do for yourself. You do not need to hit your face with the hammer to alter your bone structure. All right, well, we'll leave the hammer in the garage. All right. But there's just like small, minor things that are within your control that I think you can do, and that would also give you confidence when it comes to love, right? Because it is scary to put yourself out there and see how other people perceive you and what it is you want to be. And I feel like the cards here are kind of reassuring you, like, it's okay. You can change. You can become your ideal version of yourself. It may take work. It may take time. But you can become the version of you that you want to see in the mirror. So, yeah. I hope that helps, Condor. Fingers crossed. One thing is a must for looking good is sleep and face making. Yeah, sleep is very important. Sleep, hydration. I'm also big into skincare if you want skincare tricks. I don't know how good your skincare routine is. Some people are crazy though. I don't know what it is. Some guys will literally use like a bar of soap on their face, but they'll have like clean and clear skin. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Luckily, I have pretty decent skin too, so I don't really break out or anything. But I'm not using bar soap on my face. Jesus Christ. Also, hi, Kobe. Welcome in. But yeah, sleep. Sleep is a must. Also, changing your pillowcases frequently is a really great trick for helping your skin if you have sensitive skin. Yeah, changing your pillowcase frequently to have a clean pillowcase is a great way to do it. The trick is the eyes, dude. I sleep so much and I still have like bags under my eyes, dude. I have like absolute fucking panda stripes under my eyes that are just perpetual, which is crazy based off of the amount I sleep. The ASMR is so good. No way you didn't get that many videos. I'm glad you liked my ASMR. Oh my god, wait, which one did you listen to? Was it the new one? The gamer rage bait ASMR? No, because eye bags are actually a sexy factor. Yeah, dude. The fact that I look like I haven't slept in like weeks, despite the fact that I slept 12 hours yesterday, it really sells the sexiness. That's why I got people lining up for me, right? Right, chat? Pandas are cute as fuck. Yeah, I do love pandas. They are really cute. How you doing though? I'm doing good. I meant views, yeah. I'll I just make the ASMR videos that I personally think would be fun to make. And kind of just do things that I personally think are interesting, which is kind of counterintuitive to the algorithm, which means I don't really get that many views. But in exchange, I tell myself that I'm simply a genius unrecognized in my time. And only after a set amount of time, then will the people truly see my capabilities and what I've truly created. That's how I delude myself into thinking I'm still doing a good job when the views are bad. And I tell myself I'm simply an unseen genius. Yes, the artist theory. Exactly. I listened to ibuprofen ASMR you mentioned. It's a good sleep ASMR. I'm glad. Yeah, I made that one because I was having period cramps and I was like, I need to take ibuprofen and pass the fuck out. Also, I do really love the meme of the let's take ibuprofen together. You're ahead of your time. Exactly, exactly. The people just don't realize that this is the ASMR that they need, and that's fine. They'll come in due time, I believe. They're gonna put your rage bait ASMR in the space loop one day. Yes, that'd be beautiful, dude. I made the button mashing myself. What we need to do is write your name in a wiki or something. Fun fact, there is a VTuber wiki. There is a VTuber wiki. I don't have a Wikipedia page though. What you said to a raging enemy is funny. My friend Oka helped me come up with a lot of those because I actually don't play like any of those games. But my friend Oka, she used to play League. She still plays Valorant. And then she apparently got a bunch of her other friends to help her brainstorm some other stuff too. And then I kind of like amalgamized all of the bullshit and then like added in a little extra bullshit after I Googled a bunch of the references. Cause it's like, what does this mean? And I literally Googled it. I was like, oh, okay. And then I would Google League of Legends champion names. And then I just threw in a random champion name, right? Just shit like that. Cause yeah, the type of games I normally play, even like cause I do live stream me playing stuff while I also do tarot too. But the games I personally play are usually like puzzle games or visual novels, which don't really have the level of technical skill that's necessary for games like, you know, Call of Duty or Valorant or League of Legends. I played League of Legends once, actually. Played League of Legends once, and they told me to uninstall the game. I was playing Lux. It was my first game. And they told me I was so bad that I should uninstall the game and a couple of other choice words. I didn't do the other things, but I did uninstall the game. And then I played Overwatch, right? I played Overwatch because my partner wanted me to play Overwatch with them. And I told them, I was like, I'm really, really bad at shooter games, okay? You need to understand this. Like, yeah, it's fine, that's fine, that's fine. So I make an Overwatch account and I play, was it Moira or whoever it is, the healer, right? And I'm on a team. It's like literally my very first co-op game with other people, and somebody told me I was so bad that I needed to uninstall the game. I was like, brother, you're in the same rank as me. You're in the same rank as me, aka we're unranked babies. I don't know why you're bitching to me, but I did uninstall that game too. The people tell me to do it, and I do, bro. I listen. But yeah. I don't know why they were so mad at me though. Like, brother, you played two of the most degen games and they didn't accept you, and I'm happy. That game must be a bright treasure that it made you uninstall. Yeah, I mean, they told me what they wanted me to do. I was like, okay, I'll listen. Let me go ahead and uninstall now. Rivals next? Oh my god. I'm not good at those kinds of games though. And it's more stressful because I think about my teammates. I feel like I'm fucking over my teammates. It's one thing if I'm playing on my own, you know? Like, I'd be open to playing Dark Souls or something because I won't be fucking over other people if I play. So I could be open to playing Dark Souls or something in the future. But I don't like stressing out other people's gameplay. So I'm not too big of a fan of co-op games. But I do play them on occasion. Like, I played Fortnite once, again, because my partner wanted to play Fortnite with me. And I warned them ahead of time. I'm like, I'm probably going to die. I'm like, nah, I got you. So it was them, their friend, and me. We were all in like a party together, and they basically took out all of the enemies for me. Like, they were my bodyguards, and I was shooting at people. I had a gun in my hand, and I was shooting at people, and I kept missing, and I did not hit a single person. I did not kill a single person, and we won. We got the victory royale. But I got the pacifist tag because I managed to get a victory royale without a single kill. So, like, that just goes to show what's going on. And then instead of playing the regular Fortnite, I just played the Lego Fortnite, and I just had a good time with, like, building. I was basically playing the Minecraft game in Fortnite for a little bit. Yeah, co-op stuff kind of stresses me out a bit. It's scary to potentially let down other people in like high stress environments like that. So, not my personal favorite when it comes to gaming. But yeah, my friend helped me write a lot of those. Yeah, there was so many different references that I was throwing down in a lot of that. And I had to like double check as I was Googling it. Because I wanted to make sure I wasn't accidentally making sense as I was saying a bunch of shit. It's like, hold on, I gotta make sure none of this is actually real. Plus, you're a gacha main, so you still earned your goon badge. Yeah, so like I still play gacha games. I do play gacha games. That's the reason I got into fencing. You can't let a team down in a primarily solo event. Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure when your team's relying you on stuff like that. You don't want to let them down. All right, let's see. So next up after Condorcito is Berserk. And Berserk wants a general reading. Imagine wasting time playing gacha. Couldn't be me. Yeah, okay. Also, thank you, Jeremy, for the hydrate. Always call them the greatest word in gaming. No, you can't say that word. You can't say that word. That's not allowed. Also, we gotta also do the redeem. Jeremy redeemed for me to play my cover song. So let me go ahead and put it on for you guys. You can't say that word. You have to... Unless you're gay, then you can reclaim it. But you can't call other people that. That's not okay. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's okay. Just letting you know. Let me go ahead and put on for the cover song. Now you guys can hear me sing. I gotta turn on. There we go.
한순간이면 여전히 너의 멜로디도 들리지가 않아 What's so deep my world My savior
짜잔. Thank you for the cover song, Redeem. I appreciate it. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked it. Okay, now we can get back to tarot. Teehee. Dere Idol. Well, I do have the idol costume that I did for my original song. So technically Idol Dere is real. Yeah, thank you, thank you. I have my cover songs on my YouTube as well. I just have all of my shit on the same channel, which also doesn't help the algorithm, but it's easier for people who want to see more of my stuff. So it's all in one place. My live streams, my shorts, my song covers, my ASMR videos. It's all in one place for your convenience. But there you go, there you go. Right. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys like my song covers. It makes me very, very happy. Alright, so next up we're doing Berserk, and Berserk wants a general reading. Berserk is here, right? Pretty sure Berserk is here. Yeah, Berserk is here. Yes. Okay. Let's see what we got for you, Berserk. For your general reading. If sands were to glisten like snow, the moon reflecting with your spirit, oh my god. The moon reflecting your spirit like a mirror, it will shine, even if it's black. Oh my gosh. Dropped a bar, I don't know. Casual. Yeah, it immediately like popped upwards in the chat. I had to scroll back up to read it because I didn't get the chance to read the full thing when you dropped it. Alright, let's see what we got for your general reading, Berserk. Ooh. Oh, okay, okay. Interesting, interesting. All right, Well, we got all of the cards for you. And you are also subbed, so let me go ahead and grab your Oracle card as well. And then we'll put them up on the screen. Are the cards on screen the same ones you're using? Yeah, they are. They are. I do own the physical set of the cards. This is the Botanica Tarot deck. If you do ! Tarot, it'll actually give you the link to the specific deck of cards as well. If you're curious and you want to check out and support the original artist who made these beautiful, beautiful cards. Yeah, I backed them on Kickstarter several years ago. So I've been using the deck ever since, and I really enjoy it. And then for Oracle cards, I am using the, it's called the Green Witch Oracle deck, which I'm also a big fan of. I like flowers and plants, so. All right, let's go ahead and put these up on the screen for you. Berserk, starting with... Let me follow that up with... And then the final card. There we go. Alrighty. We've got all of the cards for you in order of left to right. We have the Ace of Cups, we have the Ace of Wands, and we have the Eight of Cups. And then for your Oracle card, we have Spring. So very much, this is a card of new and hopeful beginnings. But with hopeful beginnings, prior to that is the end of something, right? But let's break it down. I'm kind of going a little bit out of order, just because I'm going to read these in the way that makes the most sense to me. So we're actually going to start, rather than the Ace of Cups, we're going to start with the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is a card of the well is poisoned, it's time to move on, right? What you're doing right now, I think, isn't what you want to keep doing, right? This is a card of a lack of fulfillment, the feeling that it's time to let go of what's kind of been tying you down and to push forward, right? That's I think the main sort of like takeaway card here is like it's time to move forward. And it can be scary. It can be scary to leave what you've been doing this whole time because, well, it's been working, hasn't it? Isn't it selfish of me to want to change and go for better things? But you have the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands, right? Which kind of beg to differ. They're like, hey buddy, we're going to hold your hand here, right? Ace of Cups is the card of the start of a great love. This is, you know, productivity, abundance, beauty. This is a card of like an overflowing amount of wonderful emotions happening. Great things just sort of overflowing from your cup, right? And then tying that in with the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Wands is a card of spring. It's a card of new beginnings, right? It's good luck, the start of something new, and also beauty in the simple things, right? So you have these two aces telling you, hey, there are wonderful, beautiful, incredible things in the future for you. But in order to reach these wonderful, beautiful, incredible things in the future, you have to let go. You have to let go. You cannot bring this with you into the future that you want, right? And then to even reiterate this sense of wonderful new beginnings, we have the Spring card for your Oracle card, right? And Spring is a card of rebuilding. It's a card of awakening, rebirth, you know? So again, you have 3 separate cards out of 4 telling you wonderful, wonderful, beautiful things in the future. New beginnings, bright happiness, right? Like incredible things. But you have to let go of that thing. You have to let go. In order to reach these wonderful things that are quite literally waiting for you, you have to let go of what's holding you back. And that could be a lot of things. I don't know what specifically might be holding you back, I feel like you probably know inside of your heart, Berserk, what is holding you back right now. But the Eight of Cups tells you, like, hey, man, it's time. It's not actually helping you. It's not actually bringing you joy. It's okay to thank it for the time, the service it's done for you. It's gotten you this far, and that's wonderful. But it's time to bid it adieu in order to move forward with your life and to newer and greener pastures, right? As much as you may want to keep holding on to it, you know, out of a variety of feelings. Maybe you feel fear of not having it. You know, you've had it for so long. What if you actually need it more than you realize, right? Or there's the fear of what if you won't be able to find these better things. But the cards are kind of reassuring you, like, no, you will find better. You will find wonderful and amazing things, but you have to let this go. Right? Because it's not making you happy anymore. I think that's also the key thing here is that sense of like the lack of fulfillment, the lack of joy. This is like you're doing it because you have to, not because you want to, right? That's what the Eight of Cups is all about. So it's like, so stop. Invest your energy and your time into something that's actually going to spark joy for you, you know? But yeah, I mean, otherwise it's telling you like once you let go of this, that's pushing you forward into the direction you absolutely want to go into. New and amazing things. I reckon the cards are telling me to lock in about my CPTSD and pursue my true mission service. Yeah, I believe in you. Yeah, whatever it is, the cards are definitely telling you like you have to let go of this thing that is holding you back because it's going to push you into that direction. Those new beginnings, that new spring is coming. You have to let it in, but in order to let it in, you need to make room for it to come in. And that means letting go of something. So, yeah. Overall, it is a really, really good reading. And, you know, new year, new you, spring cleaning, all that good stuff. So, spring clean your life a little bit and you'll make room for even more wonderful opportunities. I believe in you, Berserk. You got this. You know, they're banger. Yeah, like I said, lots of mentions of spring and new beginnings and your cup overflowing kind of things. So I really want to like reiterate those points to you, you know. It sucks that you do have to let go of something, but I think ultimately it's for the best anyways because it wasn't bringing you joy. It wasn't helping you at all. Then next up is, also I just saw, Nordy, thank you for the 40 months. Thank you. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. 40 months. Almost 4 years. Almost 4 years. That's insane. Let's see. Next up is Alex. And Alex wants a relationship reading. Oh, do you have somebody, Alex? It's a relationship and not a love reading? Does that mean you got somebody now? I've had one for a couple of months. Oh my gosh, look at you. Well, let's see what the cards say about this relationship then. Totally off topic, but I can't wait for the God of War remakes. Oh my god, they're making a God of War remake? I haven't even played the first ones. All I know is the boy meme. That's all I know. Boy. That's all I know. That's all I got. Let's see what we got for your love reading, Alex. Also, hi, Egg. Welcome in. Okay. We got all the cards for you, so let's go ahead and put these up on the screen. Starting with... And then we've got... There we go. I'm definitely gonna end up broke for a game. I have to save it for a bit because it's expensive. Oh, yeah, I'm sure if you budget, it'll be fine. Don't stress too much. Okay, we got all of the cards for you. Also, hi, Chadalabagi. Welcome in. Hope you're doing good. But yeah, so for your reading, Alex, for your relationship reading, we have, in order of left to right, the Six of Coins, the reverse Seven of Swords, and the reverse of the Empress. So let's go ahead and start breaking this down for you, starting with the Six of Coins, right? The Six of Coins is a card of the fruits of your labor. All of your hard work is paying off, right? It feels like the time and effort that you put into everything, it's come to fruition. So now is the time to enjoy the sweet fruits of your labor, right? Your just desserts, if you will. This is a card of abundance. We do also follow it up with the reverse Seven of Swords, actually. And the reverse Seven of Swords is kind of funny because it's very much like a card of like pure dumb luck. Things work out. You don't really fully get how they work out, but they work out, you know? So don't stress too much about a lot of stuff. It feels like things have a way of resolving themselves in a lot of situations, right? It feels like it struck a good balance. Yeah, it was definitely sheer dumb luck. It does kind of work out that way. It's pretty funny how life just kind of throws a couple of those at you where you're just like, I don't even know how I managed to do it, but I did it. Not gonna question it, but I did it, you know? But then, interestingly, that brings us to your final card, which is the Reverse Empress, which to me reads a little bit like a warning card. It's like, hey, it's great that you have this. It's wonderful that you have this. But if you want to make sure you keep it and you keep it in a healthy way, be careful of emotional block, right? Make sure that you are open and vulnerable with your emotions and how you are and how you feel, but also make a safe space for your current partner to also feel like they can confide in you about their emotions, right? As soon as emotions start getting, bottled up and hidden away, that's when problems start to form in relationships, right? So be very open about how you feel, but also make sure that you are leaving a environment for your partner to also tell you how they're feeling about things, right? This is basically telling you, like, make sure that you still keep that sense of like vulnerability and emotionally availableness to your partner. And I think that's going to help sort of mitigate a lot of potential bullshit in the future and help your relationship sort of flourish a bit more. So it's like, be careful that you don't sort of like emotionally distance yourself from the other, right? You gotta keep in tune with each other's emotions. Right, there's that sense of like detachment or instability. So that's what the Reverse Empress sort of warns us about. Like, just be careful. Just be careful. Make sure you're locked in on each other's emotions. And that should be fine. Yeah, so it's just like a warning card. Just like, hey, just make sure that you're keeping sort of like that open conversation with your partner, making sure you're checking in, you're listening to them, and you're there for them emotionally. And it'll be perfectly good. It feels like you're on a good path for yourself in the romance. Things are working out. Things are doing well. So just make sure. Just make sure you don't slack on that. And I think you'll be fine with your new relationship. There you go. The most positive one I've had in a while. Yeah. Well, I think that goes to show, you've been growing, you've been improving, you've been doing your best, and it feels like the cards are saying that, and they're telling you you're doing a good job so far. And just here's what you can do to make sure you stay on track, kind of thing, So there you go. I hope that helps, Alex. Next up is Misamo-chan. Misamo, are you here? I'm here. Hi. Misamo wants one for travel. Ooh, a travel reading, huh? Going somewhere special? We're usually in calls, but she's been working a lot, so she needs rest. Yeah, I'm sure she appreciates thoughtful gestures like that. But it is her weekend. Yeah, you gotta hit her with the good morning Pookie. My partner leaves next week and I'm worried about them since we'll be gone for a month overseas. Oh, that's still exciting though, to travel overseas. Is it for like work or something? Or... Yeah, I definitely get the nerves. Is it work? Are they visiting family? I'm just curious. I'm just nosy. It's not gonna affect the rating. I'm just curious. Traveling the Camino in Spain. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. You gotta make sure they get you a souvenir. They gotta get you a paella pan. They're going to Spain. A whole paella pan. Oh my god, dude. I love paella. It's so delicious. Alright, let's see what we got then for the travel reading for your partner. Okay. All right, we got all the cards, so let's put them up on the screen, starting with... Then next we've got... And then the final card is... There we go. Alrighty. We got all the cards for you, Misamo, for the travel reading. So, in order of left to right, we have the Hangman, the Four of Cups, and the Reverse King of Cups. So, starting with the Hangman is a card of cutting free what's holding you back. Taking a moment to sort of stop and think and reflect about a lot of stuff. So to me, this kind of reads as like making sure you have your priorities straight of exactly what you want to do, what you want to cover, and maybe what you need to make sure you focus on. So like in terms of like traveling, this is like making sure your itinerary is set, you know. This can be making sure that all of your important details are covered, you know, accommodations, food, you know, all of the expenses and stuff like that, but also just like in general where you plan to go, what you plan to do, all of that sort of take into account. And then like cutting away the things that maybe you realize that you can't really do or what's not super feasible for yourself, right? That's sort of what the hangman is. It's like make sure you're prepared in your own sense to have everything set up, right? So having, like I said, like a loose itinerary can be really helpful in those sort of situations of knowing exactly what you plan to do. It saves you time and money actually setting things up and makes you able to do more with your time because you know what you're going to do with your time rather than sort of getting stun locked in place of like, oh God, there's so much I could do. We also followed up with the Four of Cups, which is a card of there are a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different directions you can go. But I think this is also a card of like take the time to stop and think about what are the things you want to make sure you focus on before you move forward in whatever direction, right? That helps you pick what direction you want to go in. So it's very much like a card of there is a lot of different things you can do. But there are certain things you definitely want to do more than others. And I think taking the time to like stop and think helps you lock it in. So again, sort of like setting that sense of like itinerary, preparing yourself mentally and emotionally, and like stealing your resolve for these are the things you have to make sure you get done, right? I think that's going to help push in that sense of keeping your focus where it needs to be, but also keeping you safe because you're less likely to like get lost. You're less likely to, you know, overspend, whatever the case might be. It's just a safer way to keep yourself on track and focused so you can fully enjoy your time because you know exactly what you're going to do. You have everything planned out for that, right? And then that sort of brings us to your final card, which is the Reverse King of Cups, which is a card of things may seem calm on the surface, but there's definitely kind of like a lot going on underneath, right? So it's something that seems very calm and chill, but it feels like it can be very overwhelming, more so than maybe you realized. So to me, this feels like taking the time to really stop and think and prepare can help keep you on track so you don't get swept up by the current, right? Because that's kind of like what the last thing you want whenever you're traveling, you know, is to sort of get swept by the current and lose track of things. So it feels very much like the cards like planning is key, planning is essential, taking the time to really stop and think about what you need to cover, what you need to do, where you need to focus your time and effort and energies into, especially when traveling and stuff like that. So yeah, pitcher plants for the Four of Cups is honestly so galaxy brain. Yeah, the deck is so gorgeous. I love it so much. Yeah, and they are pitcher plants. They are pitcher plants. And I also like the narcissus, the daffodil plant for the Hanged Man as well. It's a very good one. There's a lot of very clever, very thoughtful picks for the different plants that they pick for all of these. Also, Hoaxsters, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. But yeah, so I think the key thing here from this reading, Isamo-chan, is taking the time to plan accordingly, basically. What it is that you need to get done. Because when you have a plan, I think it's a lot easier to just have everything sort of set in stone. Yeah, my partner is traveling with their mom and they butt heads from time to time. So yeah, I think having at least a rough itinerary can be very helpful because then you can kind of like know exactly what needs to be done. And then if they want to do different things, they can sort of plan ahead for that of like, okay, well, you want to do this and I want to do that. So we'll set this up so we can do that then and we can do this here, right? So I think that's definitely something that can be addressed ahead of time in a way that will make everybody happy. Like I said, you don't need to plan it down to like the hour or anything like that. I don't think you need to go like crazy of like, this is everything we need to set up. But I think having at least a rough schedule of the things that they want to do, the sites they want to see, particular events that they want to, especially if there's like specific events or things that they want to take part in, things where you need to buy tickets. You need to make sure that you actually, you know, they're open on those days or they're scheduled on those days, or you can buy the tickets ahead of time kind of thing. Make sure everything's set up, you know, because when you're traveling, the last thing you want to worry about is like, oh, fuck, are we able to get that ahead of time? Are we able to get that now? So you just want to enjoy your time there. So I think taking the time to set things up now is going to make it more enjoyable when it happens later, when you're actually there in the moment. Then you can just focus on enjoying it. So it's like the more planning you do now, the more you can get things sort of set up, set straight. It'll make it a lot easier. So it takes a load off for you mentally. They have an itinerary that they plan in advance. Yeah, that's good. Yes, I think that is definitely sort of the key thing here. It's just like making sure everything's good. Try not to get too caught up in the moment kind of thing, especially with that reverse King of Cups. It's sort of telling you, like, don't get too caught up in the moment. It's very easy to get swept by the current of things. Stay focused. Also be careful with scammers. There's always scammers, and everywhere. At every tourist spot, there's always scammers. So, gotta be careful. Don't go into suspicious alleys following people. Don't let people put bracelets on you, on your wrist, or don't take flowers. There's always specific scammers in different regions. I would just Google popular tourist scams in Spain. That's probably what I would do, is just popular tourist scams in Spain. Yeah. There's some crazy people over there. Make sure they keep their passports and stuff on them. Really, really close to them physically. I know some people actually do steal passports and money and shit. So, yeah, be careful. Make sure they got all of their stuff prepared on them, close to their heart. Fanny packs. Don't be afraid of fanny packs, baby. It may look dumb, but it gets the job done. Be standoffish and rude. Punch the local. I don't think you need to do that. But don't look like a tourist if you can avoid it. Yeah. I think the key thing there is by looking like you know what you're doing. That's the key thing. When you look like you know where you're going and what you're doing, people are less likely to bother you and try to fuck you over. Because they think you're like legit. So walk with purpose. Put the bracelet on them and make them pay. Oh shit. Big brain maneuver there. Yeah, that was a popular tourist trap I saw. People would like go up to you and they try to like tie bracelets on your wrists. And then as soon as they did, they'd be like, all right, you have to pay me $20 now. You'd be like, what the fuck? No, I'm not paying you $20 for you tying a bracelet on my wrists. No, you bought the bracelet. That's why I tied it on you. It's like, you just tied the bracelet on me. Don't let them tie the bracelet on you, bro. It's a trick. It's a ploy. Yeah, the flowers is also a thing too, where they hand you a flower and then they try to demand money from you as well. Yeah. But yeah, I would also honestly say, like, Google popular tourist scams in insert country here. So you can just brush up on like the more common ones. And then that'll help avoid a lot of unnecessary trouble as well, because you'll be able to know what to look out for, you know? I made $5. Oh my god, you made money off of scamming the scammer? Amazing. Just RKO the flowers. I don't think that's how that works. I'm not an expert, but I don't think that's how that works. Yeah, there you go. I hope that helps me, Samo. Next up is Call Me Yo Daddy. So Call Me, are you in here? Let me drink the rest of my coffee. Yeah. Psst, 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 psst. Call me. You have to whistle. Can I whistle? I can see. I've been practicing learning how to whistle, but I think I'm out of practice. I have to remember how to whistle again. Hold on, you guys. This is me learning how to whistle. I'm like legitimately trying. That one was good. That one was good. Let's go. I can do the Wild West whistle. I can't. It took me forever just to learn how to do that amount of whistling. Okay, you guys? I have been trying to teach myself how to whistle for years. For decades. Yes, really. Nobody taught me how to whistle. They were just like, yeah, just do it. Decades to learn that. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Don't bully me, okay? Sometimes you have to be really bad at a skill in order to improve. Okay, I'm being open and vulnerable with you right now about my weaknesses. Alright? And this is how you repay me. But it worked. I whistled and you came, so... Who's the loser now? Idiot. You still came at my whistle. At my beck and call, baby. Alright, let's see. We got Call Me Said, Judge My Past History. It's easy, suck in the cheeks and you can blow in. That is not working. That is not working. You did what to your whistle? It's easier for me to blow out than it is to blow in. I feel like I do better blowing out. I'm practicing, okay? Like I said, I'm being open and vulnerable with you all, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't bully me. Maybe give one more decade. Thank you. Yeah, I believe. That's a decent whistle, thank you. I've been practicing really, really hard to learn how to whistle. Thank you. I could do the Kill Bill whistle, that's so funny. I can't do that. One day. I'll master the skill, I believe. Alright, one last whistle. One last whistle for the road. Find breathing in is easier version. See, I was trying that. I just... It's like I'm gasping for breath. I don't think it's working. I don't think it's working, bro. I'm trying to do the breathing. Everybody's saying, oh yeah, just breathe in. I'm just taking in air, bro. It's not working. I give up. I'll work on that later off stream. No judgment, but Jesus. No. No, this is a judgment-free zone. It's like breathing according to that. I can breathe perfectly fine. It's just whistling I have trouble with. I'm really good at breathing though, you guys. I've been doing it my whole life. I'm gonna have to be a whistling teacher. People have tried. People have tried to teach me how to whistle, but nobody's good at teaching me how to whistle, bro. What I've done today, that was self-taught, all right? That was self-taught through years of practice and trial and error, okay? Okay. Nah, man, I said no judgment there. If I could say whatever I want, it's not judging. I don't think that's how that works. Also, hi, Kaiser. Are you currently taking donation / super chat questions? So we have a queue right now that we're working through. My readings are free. I mean, if you want to donate to me, I would never say no, but my readings are free. It's just as we're going through, we currently have a full queue at the moment, but as we go through towards the end of the stream, there might be some free slots towards the end that you might be able to snag if people disappear when I get to them. But you don't have to pay in order to get a tarot reading. It's just I have limited readings. So if you do want to give me money, I would never say no. No judgment, but I don't think you understand how judging works, and it's embarrassing. Oh my god, you can't just say that. Yeah, no, I'm learning how to whistle. It's basics. It's basic. I'm baby at it, okay? Have the back edges of your tongue touch the upper back teeth, then pucker your lips in the whistle style and exhale. Okay. I hung teeth. That didn't work at all. Hold on, let me try it. It's not working. I'm not puckering my lips, you pervert. Try breathing in instead of breathing out. Okay. That's not working either. I just like a freak. I sound like a freaky little slurpy boy. I sound like I'm trying to slurp up something. Me at the 7-Eleven with my cherry Coke. It's not working. It's not working, you guys. I'm trying. It's not working. Slurpy Whistler. I hate that. I hate that so much. One day. They call me Slurpy Boy 2 for 1. Oh shit. Which, you know, I'm genuinely trying to follow your instructions too. I think you people just take for granted how you whistle. Which one of y'all has a teacher's license? I'll let you teach me how to whistle. Alright, let's see what we got for you. In my case, it's just before the canines. Oh, I spread my tongue out a little further. I think that helped a little bit. You hear it? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? You heard a little bit of that whistle? Let me push my tongue out a little further out. No. It's not working. I think that one was just luck. I think they're trying to scam your free time. No, hold on. I can do it. Oh, never mind. I can't do it. Never mind. All right. I'll quit. I'll have to practice. I'll have to practice at home. I'll assign myself homework. Try biting your tongue. I don't think that's gonna help. I'm gonna try though. That's what happens if I bite my tongue and try to do it. Next time I want to see a good whistle. Otherwise, oh shit. I'm trying. We all have things we're not good at. I think I was doing better on my own though. Whenever I do it on my own, I'm like... See, if I do it my own way, I feel like I do better. I do it more consistently if I do it my own way. Than whatever that was. Yeah, that's my own way. Yeah, that's years of practice right there, baby. So yeah, look at that. I'll just stick to my own way. I'll just have to evolve my own abilities. Whistly guy. Initially, I can only whistle while inhaling. Then I exhaled and bam, I could whistle. I can't do it while inhaling. I can only do it exhaling. Those are sweet whistles. Yeah. Look at that. I added some tones to it. Are you guys proud of me? I want to see. I'm so proud of you, Dare, in chat. I want all of you to type that, please. Please type the exact words. I'm so proud of you, Dare. You have a little bird collar. Yeah, I'm a little Tweedledee. Super proud. Thank you. I worked very hard on that. I'm so proud of you, Terry. Thank you, Nordy. Look at that. I am so confused. What do you mean? What do you mean you're confused? You should be proud. I'm like a baby bird. And you're the one feeding worms into my mouth. And I'm like, give me the worm. That's what it was like. You're the mama birds. And I'm the baby bird learning how to whistle. Keep at it and then do a whistle cover. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, worm. Right, let's see what we got for you. Call me. Okay. Interesting. We got all the cards for you. Call me. So let's put these up on the screen. Starting with... Neighbors are thinking honey are... their birds are whistling at night. Yeah. Dude, I have some loud-ass birds over here. In the early mornings, the birds are so fucking loud. It's crazy. They be whistling. Let's see. I love hearing the birds. I do like the birds, but it's actually so funny. Whenever I was recording the ASMR video for the gamer rage bait, you can hear the fucking birds in the recording. You can hear the birds in the ASMR video because they're so fucking loud. They were still getting picked up on my mic, dude. Let's see. And the last one. But I had to record it. So. And they weren't gonna stop chirping. So there's just some bird noise ambiance in the background of the video as well. Okay. I got all the cards for you. Call me for your general reading. Also, oh boy, Jean, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. So, in order of left to right, we have the Hierophant, we have the Reverse Sun, and we have the Reverse Lovers, right? So, starting with the Hierophant's somebody who's very much like a leader, very much like a guiding hand, somebody that you trust when it comes to, like, sort of like spiritual senses, like, in that sense of somebody that you trust to help guide through like respect and kindness. Oh my gosh. Dumb Pup, hi. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in as well. So there's very much like this idea of like a leader, somebody people go to, somebody people trust and confide in, especially when they need help sort of finding their way. You know, some lost little lambs approaching you asking for help, and you're there to help guide them, you know? And then we followed up, interestingly enough, though, with the Reverse Sun card, which tells me that maybe sometimes you come across a little too strongly, right? While the sun is normally a card of like warmth and happiness and optimism and light, in its reverse state, it kind of turns some of the qualities of the sun up to like 11, and it becomes somebody who's maybe a little bit aggressive or maybe a bit brazen, in a sense. So there is very much like this sense of like somebody who is maybe a little overpowering in some senses. You can think of it in the sense of like sun is good, but if you got in the sun too long, you get sunburned, right? So you kind of just want like a tan. So it's like sometimes you might be too much for some people. You might be a little too spicy in a sense, right? Also, thank you for the hydrate. I will drink more of my coffee. Yeah. Yeah, nobody's out here trying to get sunburned. As people like sunburn. No, you don't like sunburn. Sunburn's not good for you. Spiciness got indie, yeah. And then we also followed up with the reverse lovers card, right? And the reverse lovers card is very much like a card of kind of going through the motions, lust without love. It's you're kind of doing things just to do it. Kind of like, in a sense, I could read this as like somebody who has a lack of commitment, somebody who's usually having like friends with benefits types of situations, somebody who is not really looking for something serious, right? So I think if I were to read this in like the sort of roasty way that you're asking me to me this reads as somebody who's afraid of commitment, somebody who comes across strong because they're afraid of other people getting too close to them, and maybe isn't afraid to burn the wings of Icarus who dares to get too close to the sun, right? In this sense, you would be the sun burning the wings of Icarus. But I think there's nothing wrong with wanting to get closer to other people. And obviously you have this sort of magnetic draw to you through the Hierophant card that brings people closer to you. But I think it's harder for you to maintain those relationships because you're not looking to maintain those relationships. For whatever reason. Like I said, to me, it reads like a fear of like commitment, a lack of commitment. But overall, I think you do have a very magnetic quality to you, but you refuse to follow through. So there you go. So it's on you. Your relationships fail because you don't want them to last. So there you go. Damn, that's accurate. You asked the cards to roast you. There you go. I hope that helps. That's what the cards said, not me. I'm just the bearer of the news, you know? Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just out here telling you what the cards were saying. Put the hot dog away. Oh, my hot dogs are yummy. I do love hot dogs. I like that whistle instead. No. I'm just a little whistly fella. I'm just a little whistly guy. Also, hi, Leo Queen. Welcome in. All right, next up is Crimson Maple Leaf. It's your turn now, Crimson Maple Leaf. Yippee! And what did you want for your reading, Crimson Maple Leaf? This gives me a chance to finish the rest of my coffee. I can totally chug the rest of this. Very yummy. You're still here, right? Right, Maple Leaf? Where did you go? You were just here not that long ago. Oh, there you are. Okay. I want to read for self-guidance to overcome inner struggles. Okay. I got you. Yeah, I'm just making sure. Well, I wish to use magnetism to my advantage, but never do. Yeah, I mean, I think there's kind of like a lot of stuff sort of happening like internally that I think maybe there's like I said, to me, it reads like a fear of commitment. It reads like a fear of something that lasts. Maybe it's a sense of like you don't want to let people get too close to you because you're afraid of vulnerability. Whatever the case might be, I think you burn people who try to get too close to you, because I think there's definitely people who want to get to know you better and want to understand you more, but you don't let them for whatever reason. And there could be a lot of reasons for that, but I think that's the sort of shit you unpack in therapy, to be honest. Which everybody needs therapy. Not to say that you're bad for needing therapy. I need therapy, bro. But I think that is something that that can be focused on in a therapy session with a professional. This is just sort of like, this is something you could possibly bring up to the therapist, you know? And so, sorry, Leo Queen, we are currently working through the queue right now. We are doing Maple Leaf's reading, and then we're doing Leonix's reading, and then Apple's reading, and then if we're all caught up, if there's nobody else, that's all of the readings. But if somebody disappears, then we'll be able to do some raffle slots for people who haven't snagged a reading yet. So currently our queue is full at the moment. We're just working through the queue. Oh my god, I need to drink some water. My throat's getting all silly willy. There we go. Yeah, I just want to let you know. If they disappear. Well, you know, some people request for their reading, but then I take a while to get to them. So then they disappear by the, you know, either they're AFK or they just have to go, whatever it is, or maybe they fall asleep. Some people do fall asleep to my yapping. That's fine. So then we raffle off their slots if that happens. Yeah, reading for self-guidance to overcome inner struggles for Crimson Maple Leaf. I nearly did. Oh my gosh, trying to stay awake for your reading. Yeah, like I said, I know I take a while to get to people's readings. That's why I only do 10 readings a night. Because otherwise I would be here for even longer than I already am. In a good way, you have a soothing voice. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, no, I have no issues with people falling asleep to my voice. I wouldn't be making ASMR videos on YouTube if I didn't want people to fall asleep to my voice. I feel like that would be very counterintuitive of me. We did get a little silly with it earlier, though, when I was trying to show off my whistling abilities, my skill set and my whistling endeavors, my whistle research, if you will. Alright, let's see what we got for you. The whistling was cool. I'm glad you think so. Okay. We got all of the cards for you. So let's put them up on the screen. We got a couple of familiar cards here, but they're shuffled around from different ones. Let's see. First up, boop. Got the Hanged Man again. I feel like that's a very popular one tonight. As well as... Dun, 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 dun. And then the final card is... There we go. Okay. So, we got all of the cards for you in order of left to right. We have the reverse Hanged Man, we have the reverse Four of Cups, and we have the King of Cups. So, for your reading on self-guidance, starting with the Hanged Man in reverse, right? The reverse Hangman is a card of, it feels like you're kind of like retreating inside of yourself. maybe there's some things kind of happening around you or about you that you don't really like, but you don't really want to come to terms with, right? This is very much like a card of like a shallow understanding of yourself. Not fully sure if you understand who you are and who you want to be, right? I think that's kind of like the thing here is if you want self-guidance, you know, and in order to overcome your struggles, I think the key thing here is who do you want to be when you look in the mirror, right? Who do you picture your best version of yourself to be? And then you kind of break it down from there. But I think this stems from like the idea of like maybe you're not even sure who it is you want to be when you look in the mirror. And I think that's going to make it harder for you to make your decisions because, well, you could be anything. You could be anyone, right? There's so many options. There's so many things you could do. I think that's probably the hardest part is sort of narrowing that down for yourself. But it's sort of baby steps, you know? What are small individual qualities that you think matter to you for a person? What are things that you want to bring into this world and to make right and good for the people around you, right? What would make you feel more confident in yourself? What would make you feel proud of yourself for, right? It can be small things. It can be as simple as maybe you just want to learn a new skill. Maybe you want to dedicate more time to doing something for the community, whatever it is. Sort of like baby steps in that sense, right? But then that also sort of leads us into the reverse Four of Cups, which is a card of very much like new growth from an imminent departure. Some things leave, some people leave. Some sort of bad situation, I think, is kind of guaranteed to happen because that's just kind of how life is. Bad situations crop up. But the reverse Four of Cups tells you that from this bad situation can come something good, right? It's only because of the situation that it opens the door for something better to happen. Something that only could have happened because of the departure, right? So don't take the negative things that happen in your life at full face value, because I think there's still a lot of wonderful things that can sort of crop up out of that for you, right? So don't see the end of things as simply an end, but rather an opportunity for a new beginning. And I think sort of reframing that is something that can help you a lot too in your journey, right? Recognizing that when you're letting go of one thing, you know, whatever it may be, that's giving you the chance to open yourself up to something new. You're making room for something new and something better and something more helpful for you in your journey, right? So I think focusing on the more positive aspects of your journey can sort of help you actually let go of the things that you need to let go of, right? Because it can be scary to let go of certain things, whatever they might be. So understanding it more as like I thank you for your time. What you've done for me has been invaluable, but it's time for me to move forward. And so that means I have to let you go, you know? It's very like Marie Kondo, sort of like the sort of like joy of cleaning sort of situation here. Appreciating it for what it's done, but when it's time to let go, you let go so that you can make more room in your life for more things in the future, right? Rather than clinging to the past just because it's always been there the whole time, right? We have a lot of that sense of like the fear of letting go of what you have right now, because what if you never get anything in return? Like, what if there's nothing that comes around to actually replace it? But I think having that sort of fear stops you from enjoying even more of what life has to offer for you, right? When your heart is already full of so much, how can you hold even more? And then that brings us to your final card, which is the King of Cups. And to me, this is, I think, a bit of like a reassurance card for you, right? I think the key things to take away from the King of Cups is that the King of Cups is somebody who's very sensitive and in touch with their emotions, right? They have lots of interests. They're always dabbling in different things. They're not afraid to keep their heart open, but also their mind open to learning new things, right? And I think that's sort of the appeal of the King of Cups, which to me, I feel like this is kind of the person you want to become. Somebody who people go to for that sort of healing touch. Somebody who is a listener. Somebody who is very caring, maybe very gentle, right? There's sort of like that gentle security of somebody who is simply just a calming presence in other people's lives, right? And I think that comes with just fully understanding how you feel about things, being fully in touch with who you are and how you feel and your emotions, and sort of learning how to properly process through those emotions. Because there's no such thing as a bad emotion. I think it's fine to get mad. It's fine to get jealous. It's fine to, want things, to desire things. Some people call those ugly emotions, but I don't think of them as ugly. They're simply emotions. Everybody has them. I think it would be stupid to beat yourself up over feeling jealous over people, right? What matters, I think, is your actions and what you do with those emotions, right? It's okay to be like, damn, I wish I had that too. I'm so jealous that they have that. That's fine. That's normal. What's not okay is for you to then go and like shit on them or like be rude or mean to them because they have something that you wanted and you couldn't get, right? That's where it's not okay. It's different if you know how to utilize those feelings, because maybe you go, man, I want that too. What the fuck? So then instead of doing that, you go, okay, well, what can I do to try to get that, right? What can I do to not only support and encourage them, tell them congrats, but also what can I do to also try to get me some of that too, right? So I think there's nothing wrong with feeling even the quote ugly emotions. But I think it's necessary to recognize, oh, what I'm feeling is anger. Oh, what I'm feeling is jealousy. Oh, what I'm feeling is this, and then choosing your actions carefully. And I think that leads to somebody who is much more kind and open and understanding of the people and the world around them. And I think that's something that it takes time. It takes time for sure. But it's ultimately, I think, a great payoff. Because it's better for you too in the long run. Not only is it great for other people to have somebody who understands what they're feeling, but it's also great for you when you know when you're feeling something, to be able to stop and like recognize like, oh, what I'm feeling right now is I'm really fucking mad. I'm really mad because I don't like that this person is doing this, right? Then you understand your own motives. You understand maybe other people's motives a bit better because you know how to process those emotions, and you can kind of recognize when other people don't know how to process their emotions and they're kind of just lashing out at you because they don't know how to handle their own feelings, right? And so it sort of makes it easier to, I think, forgive people too when they do bullshit, because you're like, oh, well, it's because you didn't know how to handle all of the anger you feel inside of you, right? I can't be too mad at you, especially if you don't, if they come up to you later and they apologize for like lashing out or whatever. You're like, well, okay, I get it. Let's try not to do that in the future. But like, I understand where you were coming from. You were very upset. You felt very overwhelmed by all of the mad you feel inside of you. I understand. And I appreciate you recognizing that, you were in the wrong. So thank you for apologizing. I feel like it makes you a more magnanimous person when you fully understand your own emotions, because it leads you to understand other people's emotions. So I think the ideal version of yourself is this King of Cups. Like I said, somebody who's very sensitive, very in touch with their emotions, in touch with people around them and the world around them. And this is also a card of somebody who also has a lot of interests in many different fields of learning, right? Somebody who wants to learn more, who wants to grow more as a person. I feel bad for saying that in your chat because I've been following social norms for years. It's okay. It's okay. Just we learn, we grow, we move forward. We learn, we grow, we move forward. Everybody makes mistakes, but all you can do is move forward. It's gonna be okay. You can be a better person. I know you can. I think the fact that you say that you feel bad shows that you can be a better person, and I believe in you. So, yeah, I think that's sort of the key thing here. Crimson Maple Leaf is very much like, opening yourself up to learning and growing and becoming more in touch with the world around you through your emotions. Thank you so much. Hearing this brought tears to my eyes because of how much it resonates. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. I'm really glad to hear it. I think you can become the ideal version of yourself that you want to be. And it starts with understanding who you are, genuinely. Even in just like the small ways of understanding who you are, right? Like I said, when you feel mad, it's okay to feel mad. It's okay to feel jealous. It's okay to feel, all these quote unquote ugly emotions. There's nothing wrong with them. It's your actions that matter. And you are the one who stops and thinks, okay, I'm feeling this way. What should I do next? My adult life just started now. It's a good time to be in this stream. This feels like good advice. Yeah, everybody can become a better person. I truly, truly, genuinely believe that everybody can become a better person. Because, I'm still growing. I'm still learning. I'm still learning on becoming a better person myself, but I'm already a better person than I was 10, 15 years ago. I talk about this a lot. I used to be homophobic when I was younger because I grew up in a very homophobic place, I went to a very homophobic church. I was very transphobic, very homophobic, because that's how I was raised. And then I learned more about the world and I met people who were LGBTQ, and then I realized myself that I was LGBTQ. And, I've worked to unpack that. I've become a better person because of it, understanding more people, learning more about the people around me, experiencing other people's perspectives and life journeys and experiencing my own life journey. I think everybody can become a better person if they want to be, I think that's the key thing, It's an edgy phase and we grew out of it. Yeah, I think that was also a thing too. A lot of people were in that sort of like edgy phase as well. I think when you recognize like, hey, actually that's not okay. That's not okay to do because that hurts people, then you go, well, I don't want to hurt people. I want to be somebody that brings good things into the world. And so then you decide, okay, well, how can I do things that are good in this world? I always believe in change and a second chance. Yeah, exactly. How does tarot work? And there's something magical about it and those who are able to read the cards. Tarot is, I think, it depends on the person, but for me, I think it's kind of like reading into intuition and letting the cards kind of call out to the things you sort of internally already think about. It's sort of shifting your focus, right? I think that because, all of the cards have their own unique individual meanings. There's lots of symbolism associated with each individual card. So by pulling these cards, they all resonate with different and unique parts of you, right? And so I think when you call out those specific and unique features that those cards symbolize, you sort of internally already go, oh, that reminds me of this that I'm dealing with right now, right? And I think people who read tarot cards just have a lot of life experience in general. Good tarot readers, I think, have a lot of life experience. I may be, depending on who you ask, I may be fairly young, but like I said, depends on who you ask. Some people think I'm old. But I have had a pretty adventurous life myself. I think there's a lot that I've kind of gone through. And so I utilize a lot of my own personal thoughts and my own feelings and my own experiences and my own sort of life journey to sort of draw what those cards mean to me. Yeah, your age is double digits. Sorry. Yeah. Also, Matt, oh my gosh, thank you for the 16 months, Matt. Thank you. But yeah, I think the cards mean something different to everybody who reads them because everybody has different life experiences. Everybody has different things that they've encountered and learned. But a good tarot reader is somebody who's able to use, I think, their own feelings, their own life experiences, and their own sort of gut instincts to sort of translate the symbolism of the cards into something more like comprehensible for somebody, which is why I tend to go off on tangents about like my own life and my own experiences and stuff like that when I'm reading these cards, because like these are things I've experienced, right? When I talk about like feeling all of those emotions and not knowing how to process them, right? I mean, it takes time. It takes time to realize like, oh, I'm feeling anxious, right? Like for me, I think a big thing is I get very anxious about being like abandoned, right? Of being, you know, forgotten in a sense, right? And I think a lot of people do have that fear as well. Nobody wants to be forgotten or abandoned. But I think recognizing like, oh, what I'm doing right now is because of this fear. And then I stop and I realize like, okay, it's not fair for me. For instance, with friendships, I get afraid that my friends will find me overbearing or I'll be too much for them and that they will leave and find new and better friends and that they won't talk to me anymore. Right? That's just an example. And it's an irrational fear. It is an irrational fear to have that, because that's really only happened like once. But it happened to me at a formative age that scared me into feeling like, oh God, this could actually happen at any moment to anybody I encounter, right? Somebody that I thought I was completely fine with, that I was good friends with, actually hates me. And they were spreading rumors about me, and they were telling all of my other friends that I was like this horrible, horrible person, because we were roommates too, right? Because I thought we were besties. I thought everything was fine. And then I get called into the like the RA, the resident advisors like office thing for like this whole meeting, and all of it just dumped onto me like cold water of like all of a sudden finding out that this person hates me and has interpreted every single thing I've done as like some sort of like crazy malicious plot, right? And it was just like this earth-shattering moment for me because I was only like 14, bro. Imagine thinking that everything was fine and that you were having this wonderful and incredible friendship, only to find out that the other person thought that everything you were doing was some sort of slight against them and they hated you and they were spreading all these horrible, horrible rumors about you, like to the entire school and all of your friends, and you had literally zero idea until this very moment when basically a teacher steps in. And it's crazy. It's crazy. But it fucked me up, because then after that I start thinking, what if this person is feeling the same way? And it's not rational to think that way, because that was only one person out of however many friendships I've had in my life. And I used to be a social butterfly, so I had quite a few friendships. But that was only one person. And even the other people, my other friends, they still stuck with me and they told me that they knew those rumors weren't true, you know? But it still gave me that fear, right? So even now, even though that was more than a decade ago that happened, I still have fear whenever I have friendships that like, what if I'm too much? What if I'm bothering them? What if when I message them that they think I'm annoying and they don't know how to tell me, and so they're keeping it to themselves, or they're telling everybody else in their group chat how much that I'm so annoying or something. And I had to stop myself and be like, that's not fair to this person to think these things about them, because they haven't done that, you know? It's not fair for me to assume the worst of my friends, you know? So I think it's okay to feel anxious and to feel scared, but it is another thing to accuse your friends of something that they haven't done. Even if you're scared, you know. It's okay to feel worried and stuff like that, but I think what matters is your actions and how you choose to do things. Also, good night, Kobe. Sweet dreams. I hope you sleep well. But yeah, so there's a little vulnerability from me. Like I said, it's normal to feel a variety of emotions, but I think what matters is your actions and how you choose to act on those emotions. And it takes time and effort and energy to learn how to handle that, to act in a more, I suppose, rational way when it comes to that. And I won't say I always act the most rationally with every single emotion I feel, but I try my best to not let my fears and anxieties break apart my friendships, you know? As I get older, I try to trust that people will tell me up front if they have an issue with me, and try not to assume the worst of people, because it's not fair to them for me to assume that they're gonna abandon me just because one person when I was 14 did that bullshit to me, right? One person when I was 14, right? I can't hold that against everybody in the world that I interact with. That'd be ridiculous. Of course, it's an anxiety I have, and it can be very scary to trust people, right? But I was 14. I know it's irrational to hold that against other people. Now, sure you can. No, Penny, no. I can, but it's not healthy to do that. It's not helpful. I wouldn't be able to form friendships with people if I did that, you know? So it's just a matter of working through it, you know? Sometimes I just need a little extra assurance, a little extra reassurance that like I'm not annoying, and I'm not overbearing, and I'm not being too much, and that you guys actually like me, and you're not just here because you're really polite and you don't know how to tell me otherwise, you know? Sometimes I need that little extra reassurance to know that. But now that I've told you this, now I'm gonna think you guys are just saying that because I told you I need you to hear you say that. So it's a double-edged sword. My brain works in mysterious ways. You know, you're a cool vibe. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm still working on things. I'm still learning, and I'm growing, and there's a lot I got to do for myself. But I think, especially with tarot reading, it's me relying on the fact that I have felt these emotions before that helps me sort of with my readings for other people. Because it's like, how have I felt? How have the people I've interacted with in my own life affected this? How am I reading this? Does this remind me of somebody that I've met before? Right? Because I've met a lot of different people. I've dated quite a few people. You know, I've been in all kinds of different relationships. I've been in all kinds of friendships. I've been in all kinds of communities as well. And I think that's sort of given me a lot of knowledge about people and, you know, how people act and what people do and how they feel. And so that sort of helps me interpret my tarot cards, because I go, oh, well, this reminds me of this person that I met once, and how this situation unfolded with this person that I had, you know, with my friendship, you know? So I kind of rely on my own personal experiences with a lot of these, which is why my readings usually, even if they're for other people, my readings usually remind me of a certain situation or a certain person. Like whenever you guys ask for dating advice and I start telling you about the bad dates I've been on before. Because I'm reading these and then they remind me of, oh, this reminds me of this person that I dated that one time. So that's why a lot of my readings turn out that way. And I think tarot is a very personal thing when it comes to a lot of that, you know? But yeah. Next up is... I believe next up is Leonix. That are you just live in our walls? That I have been accused of living in people's walls. Yeah. That is an accusation that crops up quite a bit, actually. It is you, and Leonix wants a mental health check reading. I got you. Let's see what we got for you, Leonix. Yeah, there's just a little bit of dare vulnerability for you guys. Yeah, first I showed you my whistle, and then I talked to you about my intimate details of my personal life and my youth. Baby steps. Hi, do you do tarot? I do tarot. We're doing tarot right now. Let's see what we got for you, Leonix. Oh my god, look at you over here on the YouTube side too. Wow. Let's see what we got for you. Oh, I see, I see. Oh, we also gotta get you a Oracle card. I need to donate to you to make a tarot. You don't need to donate. Our queue is currently full at the moment though. But we do tarot readings every Thursday. They are free. We do 10 readings. As we're going through, we still have one more person. I don't know if they're still in chat or not. If they are, we'll do their reading, but if they're not, then we'll raffle off their reading to whoever is in chat who wants one, who hasn't gotten one yet. So it just depends, but you don't have to pay me. You don't have to pay me. They're free. It's just we have limited slots. Oh look, there's pineapple. Pineapple's still here. I wasn't sure. Raffle, no raffle. Yeah, you never know. You never know. Some people, like I said, some people go AFK or they fall asleep by the time I reach them. So, okay. I'm gonna have this playing in the background and chime in if need be. Yeah, no worries. Feel free to lurk. Feel free to lurk. Let me put these up on the screen for you, Leonix. Starting with. There we go. Then next up we've got and then the final card we have. There we go. Alrighty. We got all the cards for you, Leonix, for your mental health check. So in order of left to right, we have the Knight of Cups, we have the reverse Knight of Coins, and we have the reverse Seven of Wands. And then for your Oracle card, we have Harvest. So let's go ahead and start breaking this down for you, starting with the Knight of Cups, right? The Knight of Cups is somebody who's very artistic, very dreamy, very imaginative. Somebody who definitely has a lot of like internal daydreams. They're a daydreamer for sure. And I feel like that is very you. You are very much a daydreamer. Somebody who's got a lot of thoughts that they have in their mind of what they want and who they want to be and where they want to go, you know, a very romantic sort of life view in a sense, right? That's who the Knight of Cups is. And then we followed up with the reverse Knight of Coins. And while the Knight of Coins is it's simple, it's honest work, you know, it ain't much, but it's honest work kind of vibes. And it's reverse, it starts to feel a little bit like things are kind of stagnating. Maybe you feel like you're not moving as much as you would like to in the direction that you would like to, or maybe you just kind of feel stuck. You feel sort of mentally stuck in place, like you aren't really growing or you aren't becoming who you want to be. Whatever the case is, that reverse Knight of Coins, it feels like you're kind of just frozen in place and you're not sure if you're going to move forward or not. It's sort of that anxiety of like, am I going to grow? Is this all it's going to be? Is this the rest of my life kind of vibes right there? And then we follow that up with the reverse Seven of Wands, which is kind of a card of like you need to trust that there's more to you than this, right? The reverse Seven of Wands is a card of the inability to recognize your own potential is what leads to your failure, right? So I think the moment you start thinking, this is all I can do, is the moment you sort of set yourself up for failure, right? The moment you tell yourself, this is all I'll ever be capable of, this is all I can manage, I'm never going to be able to surpass where I'm at right now, this is the peak. I think when you assume that, then that sort of leads to your downfall. Hi, Uncle Jimmy. Welcome in. But I think it is very much like a feeling of trust that there's so much more within you that you're capable of, right? When you trust that you have even more that can still come, that leads you to keep pushing forward and to actually break out of that sense of stagnation, right? So maybe you feel like things are slow right now, but trust that it won't always be, because we have your Oracle card, which is Harvest, which is a card of determination, but also a card of hard work and the fruits of your labor for your hard work, right? Putting in that time and effort and energy into harvesting all of those plants leads to you actually being able to enjoy all of the fruits and vegetables of your hard work, right? It pays off. It pays off in the end. So as much as it may feel like you're not actually moving forward right now, you have to trust that there is more for you in the future, that this is not the end. This is not the peak. This is not the pinnacle of your journey. That you're not wrapping things up. You're still young. There's still more that can happen. There's still more ahead for you. And the moment you accept that it's over is the moment it is over, right? So you have to trust that there's more, and that if you put in the time and effort and energy, it will pay off, right? But yeah, you're a romantic dreamer. I believe in you, Leonix. You've got a lot going for you. So trust in your ability to visualize what that form of success is for you. And I'm sure it will blossom. There's still a lot more. There's still a lot more inside you. So don't let this period of stagnation stop you from moving forward and growing in the direction you want to, you know? Well, there you go, Leonix. I hope that helps. Yeah, you got a lot going for you. So don't worry too much. Even if you feel like things are kind of stuck in place at the moment, it won't be like that forever. As long as you trust that you can keep moving forward, you will keep moving forward. Yeah, there you go. Also, thank you for the 100 bits, Dexter. Mwah! Thank you. Alrighty, let's see. So, next up in the queue is Pineapple. And Pineapple's still here, right? You still in here? Yep, yippee! And Pineapple said, I'd like a general reading if that's okay. Just whatever I need to hear or know. Okay. Let's see what we got for you then, for your general reading. Who knows? Maybe we'll go a little crazy. We'll do a raffle slot after this. So we'll do one more reading after this, but it'll be a raffle. Let's see what we got for you. Okay. Let's put these up on the screen for you, fine apple. Starting with... Boop. And then we've got... Dun, 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 dun. And then we've got... There we go. Alrighty, we got all the cards for you, fine apple, for what the cards feel like you need to hear right now reading. All right. So in order of left to right, we have the Magician, we have the Seven of Swords, and we have the Queen of Swords, right? So we start with the Magician. The Magician is somebody who is able to see the potential in something and actually bring it out, right? Somebody who uses their knowledge and their resources to the full extent that they're able to create something new, right? Somebody who is able to push themselves forward by using what they have, right? This is the card of recognizing potential and trying to bring it out to the maximum extent that you're able to. They're a creator in a sense, right? And then, interestingly, we followed up with the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is a card of like, hey, be careful. This is very much like a warning. You gotta be careful. There's some danger here, right? And this could be in the sense of make sure you think through your plans properly, right? Don't kind of just dive into things without a properly thought out plan. It might be easy to be like, we'll fix it in post kind of things, but some stuff is better if you take your time to really think it through before you take your actions, right? And to me, I kind of feel like you're somebody who tends to act before you think in a lot of instances. And while it does normally work out for you, I feel like the cards are like, hey, sometimes you do have to like stop and take the time to process how you want to do things and how you want to tackle things in order to get the full extent of it, right? I say this because you have two swords cards, right? You have the Seven of Swords, but you also have the Queen of Swords, and those are both like wind cards, so it's very quick, very fast moving. I feel like there's not too much stopping to think about things. It's more just like, you gotta get this done, quick, fast, chop, right? So that's how it kind of reads to me in that sense. It feels like you're very much like an act now, fix it later type of person. And the cards are like, maybe that's not the best thing for you, because you have, I think, a lot more you can do if you have the time to plan it out, right? Because like I said, you have the Magician card, and the Magician is a card of not just the capability to make things new, but also the intelligence, right? You have the resources, and I think you use the resources, but the Magician tells us that you also have the intelligence, the knowledge to actually fully utilize what you have, right? So I think take the time to really just stop and think about what you're doing. It's okay. You don't have to be in a rush. This is not a race. I promise you it's not a race. It's okay to slow things down a little bit as you move forward, right? So take the time to let your mind work, to let yourself think of multiple different ways you can tackle something even, and then you can pick the best way. And maybe the first way you thought it was the best way. You never know. But I think it helps to have an open mind with that and sort of let things happen after taking the moment to stop and think, you know? There's no rush. So there's no need to rush. There's no need for you to instantly make the decision. You can slow it down a little bit and mull over your options, right? And then we kind of go to the last card here, which is the Queen of Swords, right? And the Queen of Swords is somebody who's very strong, maybe seems a bit cold on the outside, but there's somebody who cares about other people. I kind of call this the resting bitch face card, where you seem scary and cold and maybe a little bit unapproachable on the outside, but you're really not. You're just kind of on guard from other people. But you're not a mean person, but maybe you kind of have like a scary face a little bit. Which I say this, but I have resting bitch face, IRL. I do look scary and a little unapproachable to some people, so I've been told. So I understand. I understand. Not you calling out my resting bitch face. I understand. I understand. I have this beautiful model right now, but I've been told I do have a kind of angry looking face. Even when I'm not angry, my face looks like I'm just done with everybody's shit, but I'm just tired. I'm just a sleepy guy. I'm just a sleepy little fella, but people interpret that as me being annoyed, and I'm not annoyed. I just want to go back to bed. But yeah, so that's kind of like the initial thing. Is that why you chose to be a VTuber? That and also I drew my character. So I get to show off my art to people first, you know? So it helps. It helps that I can show off my art to people. Like all of my ASMR thumbnails. I draw all the art for that too. I draw all of it myself. My banner, my profile picture, my VTuber model, my thumbnail art. I draw all of it myself. So it's nice that I can put my art on the forefront. So yeah, that's why I picked being a VTuber, because I like being able to show off my art to people first and foremost. I get to flex. But yeah, so the Queen of Swords is very much like a card of somebody who is, you know, warm but stern, maybe a little bit aloof on the outside. Somebody who, but also I think the key thing here is somebody who ruthlessly pursues their goals. Somebody who knows what they want and charges straight forward to get to it, no matter what they have to cut down to get there, right? And I think that's an admirable quality to have, is somebody who's not afraid to go straight towards their goals, to charge straight towards their goals with no fear. Have you considered drawing your own tarot cards? I have, but that'd be so much work, bro. That'd be so much work. There's so many cards in a tarot deck. That'd be so much work. It would be cool to one day do my own tarot deck, but I think it would take a while. Anyway. So yeah, we have this whole somebody who isn't afraid to go immediately from point A to point B. The people who go straight to their goals with no fear generally have shady goals. No, a J-bomb. But I think it is very much like a feeling of charging forward, not afraid. And I think that's great. But I think it's also important to think about what the best path is. Because while it may seem easiest to just go straight ahead, you may find that there's actually already a very nice and easy path, you know, that's maybe slightly veering off to the right, you know? I hope your streams have been smooth. Yeah, hi, J-Bomb. You know, you can think of it as like, sure, it's only like 50 feet away. Like let's think of it in actual terms of like a physical location. There's two ways you could go. There's the way that's just straight ahead, but you have to cut through like 10-foot tall bamboo, right, with the machete in order to get there. But it's straight ahead, so it's technically the shortest distance. Or there's a perfectly paved, beautiful path lined with flowers that veers off in a slight curve around the bamboo that gets to the same destination. You know? It's like, okay, well, sure, you might just want to go straight ahead and you're like, you grab your machete and you start hacking at it because technically it's the shortest route to get there. But it's not actually the fastest route to get there, because the fastest route to get there is actually the easier route of just going to the right and taking the beautiful little flower path. You know what I'm saying? So not always is the shortest path the fastest path in a lot of these instances. And I feel like the cards are kind of telling you that. Like, take the time to actually look, because you might realize there's actually an easier and better way to do things. So if you take the time to really stop and sort of analyze the situation, I think you'll realize that there are some ways that you can save yourself time and energy with just that. Yeah, sometimes I do things the hard way for no reason other than trying to barrel through head first. Yeah, the cards are like, maybe just look to the right and see if there's already a beautifully paved path right there that you can take instead of grabbing the machete and charging forward, you know? I think you'll be surprised at how many people have already paved the way for you, and that there's no need to trailblaze for a path that already exists, you know? There's no need to struggle fruitlessly when people have already done the hard work for you. But there you go. I hope that helps, Pineapple. Fingers crossed. All right, and I believe now it is time for our raffle slot. Yep. Yeah, he always grabs the other machetes to speed up the process. Yeah, the dual wielding machetes to chop through the bamboo faster. That'd be kind of impressive, honestly. It'd be a really good workout at the very least. All right, so for those of you in chat who have not gotten a tarot reading from me yet today, and you would like one, I am thinking of a number between 1 through 10, and the first person to type it in a chat can get the reading. You already got a reading, Maple Leaf. You already got a reading. I'll drink my water. Any other guesses? I know there were a couple of people who wanted one. She just guessed the same number, J-Bo. Oh, did the people who wanted one fall asleep? Was that what happened? Did you guys get all sleepy, all tuckered out waiting? I also guess 8. Look, I don't want to spam numbers. No worries, no worries. The number was 3. Congratulations, J-Bomb. You finally worked your way through. You just barely beat Vertexiality, who also just happened to say 3 right at the same time. What would you like for your reading, J-Bomb? Mega sleepy, so I'm headed to bed. Yeah, good night. Sweet dreams, Pineapple. I hope you sleep well. A general luck reading? Okay. I got you, J-Bomb. Let's see what we got for you. Oh my god, thank you for the 300 biddies, J-Bomb. Thank you, thank you. Do you want a Yu-Gi-Oh card with your reading since you tipped? You want me to add a little Yu-Gi-Oh card? No, I'm good. It's not time to duel. Okay. No worries, no worries. That is an option though. During tarot nights, if you tip 100 biddies, 100 bits, I'll add a Yu-Gi-Oh card to your reading upon request. Trying something new in life, not gonna lie, a little worried. No, I gotcha. Let's see what the cards say. It's so cool. We once did a special stream where all we did was tarot readings with just Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and that was a fun night. It was my oops all Yu-Gi-Oh tarot reading stream. I believe it's still archived on my YouTube live feed. Could you do it for posterity's sake? Yeah, yeah. Alright, we got all the cards for you, J-Bomb, for your reading. It's time to day. Yeah. Let's go ahead and put these up on the screen for you, J-Bomb. Starting with... And then we follow it up with... There we go. And then the final card is... There we go. Alrighty. We got all of the cards for you, J-Bomb, for your general luck reading. In order of left to right, we have the 10 of Wands, we have the reverse King of Swords, and we have the reverse 3 of Cups. So we go ahead and we start with the 10 of Wands. And the 10 of Wands is a card of... It feels like it's a lot. It's a lot weighing on you right now, I think, mentally, emotionally, maybe even physically, who's to say. But it does feel like there is kind of a lot going on at the moment. And you can see the flowers here are actually forget-me-nots. So it feels like there is this sense of like, please don't forget about me. Please keep me in your heart. Things are difficult, but I think there's this fear that people won't see you as you're moving forward, right? As you're trying to deal with this, maybe you feel a little bit invisible right now. It can feel like a lot, but I think this is an important sort of moment for you to actually pick how you want to move forward as you're sort of going through this sort of pivot point in your life, right? But I would say to this, you don't have to deal with this alone. I think it's okay to rely on the people, you know, in your family, in your community, in your friends, to help you get through this, especially as you're like going through like bigger changes with all of this stuff, you know? I don't think there's any need for you to have to fear about becoming invisible as you're dealing with this, because there are people who love you, who would love to share this burden with you, you know? And then that kind of leads us to your second card, which is the reverse King of Swords, which I feel also kind of reiterates this point as well, right? The sense of somebody who maybe seems a little bit sharp, a little bit hard to approach as you're trying to push yourself forward, right? They seem maybe a bit cold on the outside. You're not trying to be cold, but it feels like you're kind of trying to lock in on a lot of this stuff and really stay focused on everything that's going down. But you're kind of like, you got a game plan. You're trying to focus on really nailing it in. But I think that's also pushing you away from the people around you in trying to deal with this. So it's like this feeling of like, I'm trying to handle this. I'm trying to do this all on my own. I'm trying to get through this, you know, I'm trying to lock in, but also I'm afraid that people won't see that I'm kind of floundering and struggling a little bit and that I have to do all of this alone. It's sort of the vibes I get from this, right? But like I said, I don't think you have to do this alone. I think you can share the burden with other people when it comes to a lot of this. And then that kind of brings us to your last card as well, which is the reverse 3 of Cups. And while the 3 of Cups is normally a card of pick any path and they're all good, in its reverse, it's kind of like a, technically you're winning. Technically, this is what some people would consider success, but it doesn't feel like it's making you happy, right? And when it comes to that, I think the key thing here is what will bring you joy? What will make you feel like you're actually feeling successful, right? To me, this feels like maybe you actually need to consider a different option. I don't know if this is necessarily something that's making you feel happy. I feel like you're kind of putting your nose to the grindstone, trying to make this work, trying to make this happen, because you feel like you have to, because this is the quote unquote right way to achieve success or something, right? Maybe there's some sort of like, you know, pressure that's been put on you that this needs to be done and this is the only way to have it done. But that's not true. That's not actually true. I think it's okay to stop and think, is this something I actually want? Or is this something I've kind of been told I should want? And so I've been doing it because everybody tells me I should want this, right? But to me, this feels like technically you're winning, right? Maybe by other people's standards, this is the correct path and you're doing really well. But I feel like by your own standards, you're not actually happy with it, you know? So I think it's just a matter of taking the time to really stop and think, is this actually feeling like it's worth my time and energy, or I feel like I'm running myself into the ground trying to make this happen because everybody told me I needed to do this, you know? So I think this is a matter where you don't have to deal with this alone. You don't have to process this alone. Like I said, talk to the people who you love. You're afraid of being forgotten as you're dealing with the struggle, right? You have the forget-me-nots and that 10 of wands. This is a trial of the heart. This is you sort of coming to terms with a lot of this, right? And I think when it comes to these sorts of like internal struggles, sometimes it's best to externalize that by just talking about it. Like I talk about the rubber ducky method in coding a lot, where whenever you feel like you're stuck on your code and you're not sure how to fix an issue or come up with a solution, you just take a rubber duck and you explain your code line by line to the rubber duck until you eventually figure out the solution. Maybe you need a rubber duck in the solution to be one of your friends. Somebody that you can just confide in about all these feelings that you have, all these complicated emotions, and all these maybe expectations that you feel like are kind of piled up on you. And I think you'll kind of come to realize what it is you actually wanted and what it is you actually want to do. And, you know, if you need to divert your energy into something else instead, you know? This is still the time for you to pick what direction you want to go in, right? Nothing's set in stone at the moment. So I think it's not too late. It's not too late for you to do what it is you actually want to do. Mine just asked me when it's bath time. Yeah, rubber ducky. Rubber ducky says it's bath time. But yeah, I think the cards are kind of saying like, you know that this isn't something you really want. And maybe there's also that fear of like being locked into it. But also you feel like you have to because everybody tells you that this is what you're supposed to do. This is how everybody does it. But I think you don't want that. You don't want that, but you're afraid to admit to yourself that you don't want that because everybody tells you this is how it's supposed to be. And it's gonna be a lot of things. It could be about like maybe a certain type of job, or maybe it can be about like, you know, feeling pressured into being in a relationship, or maybe it can be, you know, this or that. I think it's a lot of things. I think those are like the more common ones where people feel like they need to be like in a relationship, or they need to get married or something, or they need to have kids, or they need to have a house by now, or they need to, you know, do all of this and this and that. It's like, everybody has their own preferences. Everybody has their own goals. Everybody has their own timeline of what it is they want and when it is they want it. Don't feel pressure to do things just because the people around you tell you that, oh, well, this is, everybody else is doing this. Your cousin did this. Why aren't you doing it? It's like, oh, I'm not my fucking cousin, bro. Right? You know? So don't lock yourself into something and struggle silently because you feel like you have to. Because you don't. You don't have to. If you really, really don't want to, you don't have to. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? They can't do shit. You're your own person. You're an adult. Make the choices you want to make. You know? But there you go. I hope that helps, J-Bomb. Fingers crossed. I hope you don't feel too locked into things at the moment. Like I said, the cards are kind of reassuring you. It's like, it's not too late to pivot to something you actually want, you know? But there you go. And that is officially all of the readings for today. So, Yu-Gi-Oh card. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what your Yu-Gi-Oh card is, just out of fun, out of funnies. Okay, thank you for the sub, J-Bomb. Yeah, you got the Red Eyes Black Dragon, a ferocious dragon with a deadly attack. It's time to break free of expectations. Maybe everybody told you your whole life that you're the Blue Eyes White Dragon, and that you need to act like a Blue Eyes White Dragon because you're raised in a family of Blue Eyes White Dragons. But maybe you're actually a Red Eyes Black Dragon. Maybe things are different from how you initially perceive them. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You have your own unique nature to you, not to be confused with the others that might look similar to you. You know, it's time to break free and cause a little chaos. Maybe burn a couple buildings down for funsies. You gotta trust that you know who you are and you know your own strengths. And trust me, you have a lot of strength to you. You know? So don't stress too much, okay? Yeah, you don't need to be Kaiba. You're Joey, baby. But there you go. There you go. Also, hi, Alex. Haven't been here in a while. Hope you've been doing good. Yeah, we're just wrapping up the tarot readings for tonight. We just finished the last reading of the night. Let's see. Let's go ahead and find somebody to raid out to before it tries to give you guys ads again. Let's see. Who is online? Let's see. You know, we'll raid Harper. We'll raid Harper. Why not? Harper's playing Super Rosalina Wonder. Taking the Flower Adventure Continue. Oh, they're playing Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Yeah. As Rosalina. So that's exciting. So yeah, we're gonna raid Harper. There we go. Tomorrow I will be playing Zero Escape 999. So if you guys like psychological horror, escape the room, visual novels, you can treat me like your own little audiobook and listen in as we continue on the next path, because we got to get another ending in order to unlock the true ending. So we've got at least 2 endings we have to reach now. We got one ending so far. But yeah, I love the 999 game and the Zero Escape series, so I'm really, really excited to play more of it for you guys. If you haven't played it, it's a fantastic, fantastic game, and you can watch me play it. We have the first route is on YouTube, on my live history feed if you want to rewatch the first playthrough of the first ending we got. Yeah, nonary games. I love the nonary games. Yeah, so we will be playing more of that tomorrow on stream. Hopefully, I will see you guys tomorrow for 999. But if not, no worries. I'll see you when I see you. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. And good night.